Hello friends, in today's lesson we will be doing something of this kind. So you are welcome. This is a car park, so stay tuned and follow the steps in this lesson. Also subscribe if you are new here to be part of the family, so that each time I upload a lesson on different softwares you will get it and be able to practice to do your project on your own. Let's start. Click on new, then open a new project. In this new project, I'll select wall, but by then I'll go back to the architectural tab and be able to set out a grid system. I have a grid one here. I'll pick this, then the second one I'll be having the grid at 10,000 distance, which is the length of the car park, just like this. After which, go back, click on the architectural tab, select the wall. We may not necessarily edit this wall, we use it like this, and then we'll pick this point, extend to this point. We'll be having a wall length of 7,000, just like this. Enter. Okay, deselect this. So after which, if you started a wall, if you select this wall, you notice that the top constraint is unconnected, so we want to connect it to level 2. And mind you, at level 2, if you go to the south elevations, you'll be having it at 4,000 height. Okay, go back to the floor plan and then go to the structural. We want to load and then insert some family for the trusses in that picture. So you return to the structural framing, this one, and then you go to steel members. Use this one. We'll be considering circular hollow section like this. Click on open. Alright, so in this specified dialog, we'll choose this one, 21, and we'll also choose 33 by holding down this control key. So we have selected two members here of different diameter, so we click on open. So while this have open, go back to the structural, select the truss. Okay, and then you need to load in a truss, but by then cancel this, go to the south elevation, because we'll be drawing this at on these elevations. Hit on the truss tab again in the structural panel, and then you have to set work plane to be level 1, just like this. Click on OK. So you bring in the truss, return to the main folder, and be able to navigate to this structural trusses. So we'll be using this one. You open it just like this. This thing's import from 218 to 221. So I'll pick this first point. And then I'll pick the second point. I'm able to put this point because the work plane is on grid line 1. Okay, 7,000. So you pick this one to insert the truss. So you may not necessarily see this truss, all that, but if you click on this point and then be able to select this, you'll see it just like this. So we'll be editing this truss to fit into the shape we wanted to use in the design of the car park. Okay. So if you check the length of this trusses, you will notice that it is up to, the height, the distance from here to this place is up to 1.8 meters. So it is too much for us. We need something like 900 thereabout. So we have to be dividing this into 2. So for us to do that, select the truss. Once it's been selected, you click on this edit profile. So now you can be able to edit this profile. I want to pick this line. I'm adjusting the top chord to the center of the truss, just like this. Okay, so after picking it, I can deselect the command, select this first line representing the top chord, and then delete it, DE to delete it. After which, click on finished. So you have something like this. So we are able to shape the truss to be as small as this one. The next thing we are going to do, we still go back to edit. This time around, we'll go to the bottom chord, just like this, and then we'll pick a start end radius arc, and be able to pick the first point. You go to the second point and pick, and then you have a radius. Click here, click this point. What is this radius? Just click on it. We'll have this radius. Okay, and then after we click on finished. Okay, you couldn't finish to continue because this button line is still existing. Select the command, select this button line, DE to delete it, and then click on finished. So you're having something like this. So we'll be having also a curve of this kind at the top of the top chord. Okay, so we click on edit again, select the top, and then select this start end radius arc, pick the 2 point, and then be able to extend it to some extent, just like this. Okay, select the command, select the existing one, delete it, click on finished. So you're having something of this kind. So we'll be going by this. Okay, so after which, if you check this point, we see that the joint here are not actually attached to each other, and it is not model enough. So for you to do that, I want to show you how you will do it, and I will do only one. Maybe in your practice you will do some other ones. Okay, you just drag over the trusses and release it. So once the trusses is being selected like this, you click on this on pin, which is UP as a shortcut, and click on it like this. So after it's being on pin, you can now be able to hold the tab key, then you can select the individual brace, just like this. After which, hold on this small arrow and pull it, so it can be modeled just like this. Do the same thing to this one, just like this, and then pull it. Now it is model enough. So this you will do to all of this joint. Okay, so you can have a neat work. Okay, so the next thing I think we will do now is select the truss. Okay, come to this edit type, and in the top chord structural framing type, select this point. We want to be using this for the top chord. Okay, for the vertical web we'll be using this one. For also the diagonal web we'll be using this one, and for the bottom we also consider this size. Okay, so after which, click on apply and okay. Alright, you notice this has been applied successfully. Alright, so after which you want to be editing this. This is an opening between this place. If you go to the 3D of this point, you notice that you're having an opening under here. So we want to attach this wall to the part of the bottom chord of the truss. Okay, go back to the south elevation, select this wall, click on edit profile. So we'll be editing this profile, pick line. They'll be able to have an offset of 700 like this to this point, and then you do the same thing here. Okay, so I want us to pick this that line, pick this first point, and pick the second point, just like this. We may not be able to do it effectively because we didn't remove this offset, so you cancel or escape that. Make sure this offset is turned to, is made 0. Okay, after which picked it now and be able to pick the both sides and have a normal radius, so it will be in line with this bottom chord, just like this. After which I would like us to proceed in this wall editing. We will pick this wall at this point, let's say 900. From that point we move 450, enter, go up 500, and then you move to this point. Okay, deselect. I like this to use mirror, pick the center point, mirror it to that side, just like that. Okay, and then the next thing we will be doing, pick this, and then we'll be creating a kind of openings also here. And then the next thing we'll be doing is just trimming. Pick this, just watch out what I do, how I trim this, just like this and like this. Okay, delete this one, delete that one, and for this one you will use split to split it, just like this, before you can be able to, you know, shape it the way I did it. So this is what we'll be having, just like this. Then be able to use the trim to have this point well joined, so you will not have issue of unable to finish the edit mode. Okay, so after which you can now click on finished. So this is what you have. Alright, so after having this, you can check it in 3D. Pick this point, you have something like this. Alright, okay, so we'll be comparing this to the next grid. So go to the level 1. The truss is not visible here, so you make sure you turn this to find, and also bring this to shaded. Alright, so after which this is now seen, so you select this one, and then you use copy, you pick at this point, and also pick here, drop it there. After which go to the 3D. You're having two walls here, but this one is not carrying the trusses, so we have to copy the trusses to that one. So select the truss and then use copy, zoom closely and be able to pick this edge, pixel the other edge of this wall, just like that, to inside the trusses. Okay, all right. So after which, the next thing, if the we'll be adding the plastic roofing sheet. Okay, so you go to the south elevation, just like this, and then you go to the architectural tab, select this one, go to the architecture tab, roof, and then roof by extrusion, click, and then we want to be using this roof by extrusion. Okay, so first of all, come to this point and then to be able to edit the thickness of this roof. I want it to be 20, just like this. If I mind, I will be editing the profile of this roof. So I click on this, that point, the dotted point will take me to the it will take me to the material browser. In the material browser, I will have to set a new material, just like this. Okay, right click and then give it a name as glass, as glass one, just like that. And I will click on it, select use render appearance, come to this point, and then I'll activate the asset browser. In the asset browser appearance, I'll be using plastics, so I will navigate to plastics, this one. I'll select this plastic, then I'll be using transparent plastic, just like this. So I'll be going by this one. I double click on it so that it can appear there. Close this point, just like this. I click here to change this to blue, just like this. Okay, alright, so I'll go back to the graphics. In the render appearance, I remove this, then the transparency, I bring it to 0, just like that. Okay, after which I will click on OK, applied. Then I'll click on OK here as well, applied. Okay, alright, then I'll start to sketch the roofing sheet. So I will using this start and radius arc. I'll pick the first point, which is this one. Pick that point. I'll come to this other side. I'll pick this same end point. Then I'll move the arc in such a way that it is above this, just a little thin above the top chord, just like that. And in the same way, I'll bring it down so it touches the this point, just like that. This is an arc. At this point, I don't want to use arc here, so I just use a normal line. Okay, pick from this top line of the roof and bring it down so it covers it as in form of a clouding, just like that. I'll do the same thing here. I pick this point and bring it down to this point, just like that. Then I can now select it and then be able to shift it a little bit away from the truss. Okay, I'll do the same thing here. Alright, so you can now use this trims to make sure that you have everything connected to each other as the line connected to each other, like just like this. Select this one, can pull it up a little bit, just like that. Okay, click on finished. Let's see what happened. So once you click on finish, you can go to 3D to see what you've done so far. So you can see how this one connected this rightly. You connected it rightly. So this is what you actually expect to have. So you can now rotate it to actually view it very well. So you'll be having something of this kind. If you want to extend this way so as to have a little cloud in here, just like this, you do it. And you do it just like that. Okay, alright, so after which you notice that the trusses is like showing on the top of this. Okay, so you can go to the south elections. I'll be able to select this again. If you select all of that, you can use the top arrow key to move it a little bit up, just like that, and then go back to the 3D, be able to see what you're having. So it's not that showing, so you can go back by that. If you shade it, you have something of this kind. So after we should go to the ground or level 1. I want to be placing a slab here, a kind of a floor. Okay, so I'll just pick a floor. I can go to edit, check the size is 150, as in the thickness of the floor is 150. So I can just pick maybe one material here. If I just type here concrete, because it's going to be a concrete floor, just like this, and then I'll be able to select among all of these a concrete floor, maybe a concrete mystery unit. This one I can pick this. Alright, so if I pick this now, I can go to this place I'll be having something like this. I want to increase this size a little bit, so I click on this image here. It will take me to this point, so I will scroll down to this point. At this place I'm having 1100 and something, so I'm having like 25 here, 2500 here. Alright, so sorry, it's giving me something more bigger, 2500 here. Alright, this is it. So I click on OK. I click on apply it. OK. OK again, apply it. OK. I pick rectangle, yeah, so I'll be able to draw a floor over this, just like this. Click on finished. So you have something like this. If you hit it 3D, you'll be having something like this. You get? Alright, so the next thing is to place I go to the floor. I want to be placing a kind of a car park mark. Alright, for me to do that, it just I'll just have to go to the component and then place component. I'll go to edit, so I can be able to load component. Then I will return and then to be able to locate I'll be able to locate parking under parking. I'll use this one. I'll use this. Okay, click on open. So it will migrate it from 2018 to 2020, and then parking length is this and parking weight is this. I'll go by this, but it's adjustable. Okay, use the space bar key to position it in a way that you want. Okay, so I can just place one there. I can just place one there and do another one here. So for this one, give it a gap small, so I place this. Alright, so after which I can just place a vehicle here using the same place component, and I can go to edit, be able to load, return to the main folder, just like this. I can come to this place, see a vehicle here. I'll be able to open this vehicle, exporting it from Revit 12 to 21. Alright, so after exporting it like this, and just click on OK, then I'll be able to place a vehicle here. Then I'll use the space bar to give it a, just use this space bar. You can be able to rotate it to the direction that you actually want. So you can place one here, place one here, and also place another one here. So this is just a simple car park design. Alright, so after placing the vehicles, you can just deselect this one, select this, and then be able to use the arrow key to move it, so it can be in the right place. Okay, you can also move it forward using the arrow key, just like that. Okay. Alright, so after which you can check it in 3D, so you have something of this kind. Okay, for you to see it in realistic, you just come to here, activate it, and then you'll be able to add. So this is how it actually is in realistic view. You know, we have not added material to this wall, so you can just select the wall if you wish to add material, and then click on this point and then select here to locate to where you see this. You can create a new this thing, and then you give it a name as wall 1, and then click outside of it, select it, and then be able to go to render appearance, select image, and then you can check if you have anything that look like something like wall to use as their material, just like this. Okay, you can also click on it, and then you'll be able to set it so that it will not be too small, like 1005 as the size. Okay, by 1.5, so they can have something that it will be visible enough. Applied. Okay, okay again, apply, okay again. Alright, so if you click there, you'll be having that this wall is like this. So this is how to design a simple car park using truss. So we have learned how to place all of this, including trusses arrangement of this kind. Okay, so if I should render it in the rendering, after rendering will take some time. So, but I know if you render this, this is what is in the picture. The next thing, we are supposed to be adding this this decabin car park. So if you go back to the one we have here, the one we just modeled newly, for us to add that, you just have to pick this. Right, so once you pick that, you'll be asked to, you know, type the name, but cancel it and set work plane. So the work plane, you use pick plane. Okay, so you try to select this face as your work plane, this one, and then you pick this. Now you can type the cabins car park, just like this, and click on OK. So you can see it. So you just have to place it here. So since you place it, notice it is upside down. So what will it do? You can use a mirror, click on it, pick this point and pick this point to have it mirror like this, after which select this and remove that one. You can now move this, select this one and use move, pick at this point and you can be able to place it here. Alright, so you can also be able to adjust this. Okay, if you come to this edit tab, you can see the size is 100. You can make it 450, just like this, depends. So you have something of this kind. You can also be able to move it to the center of it. Alright, so this is how to do a simple car park. And so if you render this, for the one in the image, you have it like this. If you render it, you will be having a rendering of this kind. So if you render it, you will have something of this kind. Alright, so stay tuned for more advanced lesson as I bring to you a more lesson on useful tutorial in Revit and other engineering software. If you are new here, do it to subscribe so that you can get the lesson each time I upload. Bye for now.